What's good, everybody? This is Ace of All Trades here with the game Illuminaughty. We are back for another Triple Threat Sports podcast. Sorry to you guys that tried to come here live. We're just doing a recording this time around. Today we got a special guest, but before we introduce the guest, let's go ahead and get the co-host out of the way. To my left of me, say what's up, Siggy Guns.
What up, what up?
And to my right, my other co-host, UTXJG the Don. Say what up, JG.
Fresh off the premiere of Thor Ragnarok. Get ready, y'all. We're going to talk about that. But first, sports.
True. And my next special guest, we finally have a Patreon backer in here with us. It's about damn time. Blitz, say what's up to everybody. Get out your social media and all that, man.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? I just got back from seeing that Thor Ragnarok myself. Go out and see that, bro, and keep an eye out for that GI video. It's going to be coming pretty soon. Social medias, follow me on Twitter, Blitz90. Follow me if you want to or not. I don't care. I just only talk about gaming and sports, so whatever.
Perfect, man. We're glad to have you, man. Very appreciative of it. So let's just go ahead and knock it all out. I mean, yesterday it was the MLB World Series. It was Game 7, and I will say this: I am not a huge baseball fan. I don't have a particular team, but when it comes to World Series and watching the playoffs, always a wonderful thing. In Game 7 in a World Series, nothing like it, and it was quite the World Series. The Houston Astros ended up beating the Los Angeles Dodgers in LA for Game 7, and they beat them, in my opinion, quite easily at the Game 7. They won 5-1. So Blitz, you're our guest. What are your thoughts behind that? Do you really care about baseball, or what do you think?
Yeah, I'll be honest. I'm not really a baseball fan, so I haven't watched an inning like at all series. I didn't watch an inning, but I did find it interesting. Just watching, seeing the coverage here, and I live in Detroit, so Astros just traded for Justin Verlander a couple months ago. So it's interesting for me to see on all the local Twitter accounts that were following the World Series like the Tigers are in it or something. I thought that was kind of interesting, even though the guy doesn't pitch here anymore. But shout out to him. He had I think he pitched about like 12 years here. It was a long time. So. Yeah, it was a long while. So it's a shame he wasn't able to get a World Series up here. Tigers win a couple times, but shout out to him. He finally got his ring, and happy for him. So
true. And Siggy, what are your thoughts? Are you happy that Houston won, man? What's going on, man? How is it down there, man?
I had to represent Texas a little bit, since I live up here in Texas, but obviously I'm still kind of mad about the Yankees not making it, to the World Series and Houston beating them. I remember telling myself, like, there's no way I'm going to cheer for them now since they beat the Yankees. And then I really wanted to cheer for the Dodgers. I kind of did. And then whenever I found myself watching the game, I was like, nah, it's not going to work. I have to go for Houston.
So
I couldn't bring myself to cheer for the Dodgers at all. So, obviously the series was crazy. I mean, that 13-12 game was probably, instant classic, obviously. I mean, all the home runs that they were hitting. I think it's the first time a team's hit a home run in the 9th, 10th, and 11th inning. So
that was for Game 5.
Yeah, and then Springer
12 to 13. That was ridiculous.
The storylines were awesome for both teams. Obviously,
it really was.
Touch up on Verlander, but Springer, that was awesome. The Sports Illustrated thing. I don't know if anybody caught that. In 2014, somebody wrote about Springer being drafted.
I remember. I remember
on the
that.
cover, they put your 2017 World Series champion, and the guy.
Yeah, I saw that.
I saw that.
I saw that he was the World Series MVP. And sure enough, he was the MVP after hitting 5 home runs in the series and 4 straight. So, I mean, that's some Mr. October numbers there, because I think the only other person who hit 5 was Reggie Jackson. I think somebody else did too, but it's like, man. I mean, just the whole thing. Obviously, Yu Darvish, being over here in Arlington, Texas, I kind of thought that he would do better. I guess he wilted under pressure. I guess, maybe the Rangers saw something that they didn't like, and that's why they got rid of him. It was going to come down to those two traits of Verlander and Yu Darvish, and obviously in the end, Houston made the right one.
Right. JG, do you even care?
I'm a fair weather fan. I'm not even going to lie. If the Cardinals ain't in the playoffs, I don't watch baseball. But this year I'll take the exception, because I did participate in fantasy baseball just because we just wanted something to do throughout the season. And I learned a lot. I actually learned to like watching baseball. So I've been keeping up the entire year with everybody. I wasn't expecting Houston and the Dodgers to be in the World Series, but it was a breath of fresh air. I was tired of seeing the same teams, but baseball kind of really isn't like that anymore. Like, the Yankees have not been dominating like they were way, way, way back before any of us were ever alive. So it was cool.
Hey.
I know. Yeah, I know.
Nah, it's a new day in baseball. You had the Cubs last year coming through.
Boo.
And the Astros this year. So who knows who be winning it next year? It's
Yeah, definitely. We need to come
Vegas,
back. Though.
Vegas came out and said the Dodgers for sure. They think
We need to come back. But I didn't want Houston to win for one reason and one reason only. Because Flock, the guru himself, predicted that Houston was going to win the World Series. So now he's right. So be expecting him to say that at some point, probably the next week or so.
Yeah, you'll hear it. You'll see it in the comment section. Yeah, I called it. I definitely called it.
Yeah. Flock is right. Flock
Right,
is right.
Flock is
Everybody-
right.
when did he call it? He called it back in the beginning of the season.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
what he said.
remember if it was on video or not, but recording. But that's what he
Nice.
said. So.
Right.
Well, if I remember correctly, Houston kind of did the Sixers process, didn't they? Didn't they like tank for a little bit, and they got all these prospects, and
Yeah,
now they
they
finally
did.
got to come up.
3 ones in a row. They got Springer, and then Altuve and Correa were all around the same time also. So yeah.
And speaking of the World Series, now most of you guys probably won't know this unless you guys actually look up anything like news particular with the World Series. But a little bit of local news. So we had local, I mean for me, for Las Vegas. So there was a bettor that actually pulled out at the last moment because he bet the games
The
correctly.
$14 million.
Yeah, he bet correctly game 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and decided to pull out after game 6. And he ended up winning $14 million on the World Series by picking the correct winner for each game. And then
Was he going to bet Houston or Dodgers? Everybody wanted to know that.
They don't know yet, and so it's an Eastern European dude. They said he's like under his 30s, so which is crazy. So he must come from money that could put down a lot because apparently he came here during the UFC and he threw some big money down on for UFC fights. And he's allegedly like unbeaten when it comes to those fights. So like basically he's taking a lot of the casino's money, and anytime they taking the casino's money, especially that large of magnitude, people start
How
to
in the
look.
world I thought there was a cap at how much you could bet in a casino. Did
There-
he spread it over a whole bunch of casinos? or what?
There was one particular casino, and I forgot which one. It was he tried to bet $2.5 million, and they turned him away. So I think what he ended up doing or having to do is like spread out his tickets, but in total he won $14 million. Now, mind you, that is with him picking the correct games. So he predicted, for some reason, don't know how, that the Astros win the first 2 and the Dodgers win the next 3, and that the Astros would win the game 6 to tie it up. So
Conspiracy.
like it was $14 million. So
No,
imagine.
I think it was a pretty good guess that
Well,
it was.
it was- I say-
figured that it was. They were.
I say it's a good guess in the sense of the fact that he said, okay, if one team is gonna win 2, he said, okay, then the next team is gonna win 3. But then wait a minute, I'm sure the team is gonna. I'm guessing the team is gonna come back and win to tie it up. So I get the mental stuff behind it, but I mean, regardless, $14 million. That's a lot of money, man. Like. Give me $14 million. I'm good.
Million, I'm cool with 100,000.
Right. And that's the thing. Like when it comes to Vegas, and that you guys that are listening that don't know, like and especially like the big wigs, executives, the CEOs, and everything like that. When somebody's winning, when basically the big wigs, when people are winning, and when someone is winning that much money for bets, trust me. Their eyes are directly on this person. They are checking them out. They're making sure that there's no funny business, that the money's clean, quote unquote clean, all that type of stuff. Because at the end of the day, that's losing the casino money too. Like $14 million in sports betting. Like that's crazy. But that's shout out to the Astros, shout out to H-Town. I know everybody that's having a good time about that. It's depressing for LA, but you know what? You guys made it to the World Series again. You guys made it to the World Series. I'm sure that you guys will come back around next year.
It always seems to happen whenever there's a disaster where there's natural.
That's what everybody was saying too. I saw that on Twitter that usually when there's some type of disaster or something along those lines, the city or some sports team end up winning. I remember the year of the Boston Marathon. And
Yep,
Boston
won
Red
that
Sox
year.
ended up winning that
Yankees went all the way to Game 7. They lost, but they went all the way when they were supposed to make it at all. They had like 88 wins that year.
So yeah, that's a interesting correlation. But
Saints came.
Here's a fun
Katrina.
Exactly.
Yeah. Here's a fun fact that not many people know. The Houston Astros joined the Chicago White Sox as the only teams to win a World Series featuring the Houston Astros. Isn't that pretty crazy? Wrap that around your head.
Huh. Really?
Because the White Sox beat the Astros in 2005.
Oh, yeah.
Because they were in the National League, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Wow.
Interesting facts.
Well, all right.
All right, then. I learned something new. So let's move it over. Baseball is finally done, so all you baseball fans, you guys can go into hibernation. I know a lot of you guys just like baseball and that's it, so whatever. Now to NFL news. Deshaun Watson, God dang it, he's out for the season. The clear winner in my opinion for Rookie of the Year. Like when it comes,
not anymore.
Not anymore, obviously.
He was obviously on his way, but let's not pretend like Fournette wasn't up.
No. Fournette is definitely like this is, if anything, it may even solidify him to be getting it next. I thought that was my next rookie to have it. Like Fournette has been doing well, and everybody was like, oh well, with the injury that he suffered at LSU, he's probably gonna be injury prone. That man is destroying. Like he is, and everyone keeps forget. Like some people forget he is a rookie, but he had an NFL body in college. Like he was destroying them, and like when I saw him play Syracuse, it wasn't good. It wasn't good at all. But Watson,
I do agree. Yeah, Deshaun Watson was the clear number one.
Yeah, he was definitely clear number one.
He was setting, putting records up there. Yeah, most touchdowns for 7 games.
And that's unfortunate because Houston's already suffered a major loss with JJ Watt,
and Whitney Merciless.
Exactly. And for those who don't know, he tore his ACL. And here's the thing that got to me: he didn't even do it in a game. He did it in non-contact practice.
Those are the worst ones, man.
Those are the worst ones.
Yeah, those are the worst ones because that's I think that's similar to how Teddy Bridgewater broke his leg last year.
Yeah, that's a lot of people. Like, here's the thing when it comes to like non-contact stuff. Like, literally, that is the worst way you can go. And like a lot of people that don't necessarily play sports think the only way you can get hurt is by getting hit. Absolutely not. The worst injuries typically happen when you don't expect them, and when you're not doing anything at all. You're just normal. You're walking. Like I had one of my friends, personal friends, tear their ACL by accidentally just tripping over untied shoestring. Like just on something like that. Like it takes a little bit to be able to tear these muscles and tendons. And it's very unfortunate for Houston because, like I said, Watson.
And they just got done celebrating the World Series win, and all of a sudden it's like, damn.
The day after, they just
not even the parade happened yet.
Life giveth and taketh away. But yeah, these injuries, boy, and especially in the NFL, they've been on tear this year. I don't know what the heck is going on.
I don't know.
Yeah, because Watson's the latest one. Because you look around. David Johnson, Aaron Rodgers, J.J. Watt, OBJ.
Pierre Garçon is out too. He's done for the season. That's happened today.
Bro, it's getting worse and worse every year, man.
Yep.
It's just the names are bigger,
the names are bigger that are happening. Like I think, I know within the league and stuff like that, like there's always been like some type of like injuries with like guys that maybe don't have like a name.
But to this many superstars though?
Yeah, it's getting ridiculous. Like it really is, and like that's why like I know for a fact that like in the sports medicine field, like people are there, they're trying to make any type of innovative way to be able to protect these athletes for anything possible if they can. Like I mean, I know when
obviously it has to be conditioning or something.
Well, right? It's just not conditioning, but also it's just it honestly it's how things are on their field, their practice field. Like I know, like I said, I've had the experience of being able to do this in college football, and I know how strict they were about this when it comes to like making sure that you eat right, making sure that you're conditioned. So I can only imagine how they are in the NFL and any type of professional sports, because they train you pretty well when it comes to college, especially depending on where you go. So like,
I actually think it might be the opposite. I think they're overdoing it, as opposed to what it used to be back in the days. Like maybe they're working out too hard, or maybe they're
Like,
shredding muscle too quickly or too often.
Well,
and
when
it's
you're
just-
lifting and stuff like that, people don't know that you're actually tearing your muscles, like
Yeah, yeah, you are,
microscopically.
right.
Yeah, you're tearing your muscles. So I think that's correct. Like when it comes to your training regimen, I mean, most of people like back in the day when they were playing sports and stuff like that, they weren't really as big as a lot of people were. Like obviously, some people were naturally God-given strength and ability, and like just big on their own. But a lot of people now, because they're lifting so much weights and all that, that's a lot on the body. And if you're not really training yourself or taking proper precaution, like anything can happen. It's just sad because it's Houston just got an OW and then they take a huge L afterwards, like not even 24 hours.
All right, you know the crazy thing about the NFL? Like last year, we were worried about CTE a lot, but the majority of injuries this year have been leg injuries.
Yeah,
So,
it's been ligaments.
legs and legs and arms.
Yeah, man, that's crazy.
Yeah, man, that's
Yeah,
why.
I haven't really heard. Really, the only concussion that I've heard about it was Amendola in the beginning of the year, right? I haven't really heard much.
but here's the
And
thing,
Flacco
though.
had one. Like they've been
Flacco
very small. They've been small.
That Flacco one was bad, bro.
And
yeah.
Luke Kuechly kept having. Yeah, that's the worst one.
I think that's his third in 3 years. They're
Yeah.
trying to keep a close eye on him because he's had his last couple have been pretty violent.
He
So.
might.
If he has one again, man, he might need to hang it up.
He
'cause
might
that
need to be
might-
done.
Him and Amendola, I think, if one more for him, and I think
Amendola, I know is done after the next one. He said, I think he said, or they've probably have said that, or some underlining in his contract. But that's unfortunate. But let's talk about some fuckery news in the NFL. Papa John Pizza. Yes, Papa John Pizza. You guys might have heard of it if you ever remember Peyton Manning being the spokesperson for that.
the official pizza of the NFL, by the way.
The official pizza of the NFL.
Maybe not after these words. I don't know.
They still had the commercial in the Jets game,
the owner has blamed the NFL protest for the fact that Papa John Pizza's numbers have sunk. Siggy, what are your thoughts of this fuckery?
It's ridiculous to blame that. You would think that whenever you're opening up a business, you do get excited whenever you have something like the NFL to become a sponsor. You have all the eyeballs on it and stuff like that. But that shouldn't be the reason why your sales are down. Obviously, it all goes down to a local level, right? So if you're ordering a pizza, there's going to be competition around there. If it's not just you, whether it's Pizza Hut, Domino's, etc. In the end, the NFL is helping you get numbers on a large scale. I can agree to that, but there's no way that because of protests or because people are turning off the TV, etc., that's the reason why. Oh man, I'm so mad about these protests that I'm not going to order pizza now. I mean, you know what I mean? That just doesn't correlate. So it's like, there's a saying, oh yeah, we're going to watch the game and get some beer and pizza, but I doubt that's 90% of the viewers think, oh, you know what? I think I need to order pizza. Or it could also be that it's not just Papa John's is probably just thinking that, but it could just be that there's better competition now in
better.
the field,
There's always been better competition.
No, I don't mean in regards to pizza. I mean like Uber Eats and stuff like that. Now you can actually bring McDonald's to the home. Now you can actually get.
I didn't think about that. That's
other
true.
restaurants. People are ordering wings instead. There's things that you can eat now. Like Wingstop's always been big on football too. So there's things that they never thought about back, even 15, 20 years ago. Like, oh shit, how come now all of a sudden everybody wants to eat, through DoorDash and stuff like that? So,
but goddamn millennials.
Right.
It could be that though too. I don't think he probably wanted to blame that more, but this would just be more of a headliner.
No, that's just stupid. You're gonna blame the protest? I'm gonna blame millennials and say blame the protest. Like, are you serious? You're gonna lose more money just off rip because the fact that you think that somebody protesting off of the injustice of men of color and women of color is gonna be the reason why your sales are going down.
You have to blame an organization. You can't blame an age group for that.
That's the thing too. He can't even blame the NFL. I mean, that's ridiculous. To even blame that too. Like, even if it wasn't the protest, if the protest stuff never happened and those sales are still down anyways, what is he going to blame it on? The NFL itself? I mean,
or the sorry ass pizza. How about that?
Yeah, I mean, the plies cam was that nasty ass sauce they put on that pizza.
Right.
But no, I was listening to Sports Talk Radio this morning, and they brought up an interesting point where they kind of went into like a little bit of like how Papa John's came up and how the founder like got his business started. Apparently, he and Jerry Jones
They're
pretty
good
close
friends.
Yeah, they're good friends. And you couple that now, there's kind of like a groundswell of opposition, like the owners turning on Roger Goodell because of how he's handled, the NFL's fiascos the last few years.
Yep.
And now couple this, Jerry Jones and the CEO of Papa John's are pretty close, and it's just like the owners are kind of just like turning on Goodell. So this might be like another little feather in the cap where maybe Goodell may be on his way out.
Yeah,
he
might.
His extension.
Honestly, I still think if he gets one more major thing that like the league is just unhappy with him and him handling it, one more thing, and I think he's out the door. I don't care because his extension.
Yeah, because he directly attacked NFL leadership, which is Roger Goodell, in his comments.
Yeah.
So when he was talking about all the protests and thing, he directly said it's a lack of leadership. So I think this is just another slow build to, Goodell ultimately getting fired, because I think the owners are kind of turning on him at this point.
Right.
Yeah,
I know they said they let him
the wrong way.
Right.
Yeah, Jerry Jones was leading the way of not getting him that extension. But I mean, I'm pretty sure the other half of the owners are probably saying, "Nah, go ahead and give it to him."
I guess.
I don't know about y'all, but I don't look at commercials the same as I did when I was younger. I don't look at a commercial like, man, I really, really want that car, or I really, really want that food. I just see the crazy commercials y'all be putting on, and I'll be like, all right, that's Peyton Manning on there. I know that he's your spokesperson, but I don't be like, man, I really want some Papa John's. You got to be a really hateful person to not only protest the NFL because of the protest, but to be like, all right, I'm going to protest literally everything that the NFL has as a sponsor. Or the opposite, Papa John's, Bud Light. Like, are you going to protest all of those? So I don't think that. I don't think that that's a reason why. Like it's going to be one thing that you really, really, really love that you like. Damn, man, like that's part of the NFL, but I'm gonna still like it anyways. Like I said, you got to be really, really hateful. You got to have a lot of hate in your heart to just protest literally everything that the NFL stands for, that has a stamp on it. So I highly doubt that the protests are the reason. Like, maybe people just don't like the pizza like they did.
Especially since every weekend has been a good game, regardless of if it's not the NFL, then it's been baseball playoffs, whether it's basketball now, the opening days and the opening season. So people are going to be ordering pizza through sports no matter what, even if they turned off football. You know what I mean? So I don't. It was ridiculous to blame that. Oh, it's because they're not watching NFL. Well, how do you know that person's not watching MLB? They're going to be ordering pizza through there, especially since they're always doing 50% off of whoever scores 3 runs or whatever. So.
Exactly. Papa John's has other deals in tons of cities. Like,
exactly.
There's so many ways that you can get. Like, if you're buying a Papa John's pizza at full price, something is wrong with you. Like, I don't care. I don't care if you don't watch any sports. Like, find somebody that watches sports and be like, "Hey, yo, did the Lightning win tonight?" Yeah. Like just like something. Yeah, like anything, man. Like,
I mean, they were doing something like for Taco Bell, I believe, too, like stolen bases and everything like that.
Bases.
Yeah, like there are so many deals nowadays with all of these.
But older people don't know that though. Sometimes they don't pay attention, they don't see it on social media, something along those lines. So then like you got to use like people around our age to be able to let them know. So, but it's either you're just ignorant to it, and the fact that when I say ignorant, you just don't know. For niggas don't know what ignorant mean, or the fact that they just don't care and just like whatever, fine, spend it. They're too lazy to do it. And if that's the case, then that's only for you to like sit there and like want to like save money. But whatever.
Well, what is you guys' go-to thing? Let's talk about why it's really down. If you're watching a football game, what do you like to eat? If you do take wings. It's wings at this point.
It's usually wings.
It's usually wings, but it also depends on the setting where I'm at. If I'm at my crib or something like that, and I don't want to go pay and like order food and stuff like that, I'll just cook and then just keep it at that. But if I'm like at a sports bar or like a pub or something like that, I'm getting me some wings and some celery. Like, keep it buck.
Yeah, usually, I think that's usually what this is, wings. I think now.
That's why I like. That's why I like Buffalo Wild Wings. I still like Buffalo Wild Wings. I know a lot of people don't like them, but
I've been to Buffalo Wild Wings.
I don't know why. Buffalo Wild Wings is good.
I like Buffalo Wild Wings. I like the Buffalo Wild Wings. They got like a wide variety of like different sauces and everything.
Really good. So I don't know if you guys.
Oh yeah, Wingstop's cool. Wingstop's cool.
Wingstop is the go.
But
no, Hooters though. F Hooters.
Yeah. But no, like usually wings are a go-to for me, and like, but also usually my number 2 is pizza. But the thing is, I usually don't go to Papa John's mainly because there isn't one that's close to me. Like it'll be like a Pizza Hut or a Jets for those who live in the West or whatever.
Yeah, I like Jets pizza too.
Because to be honest, I can't really think of a Papa John's that's near me. Like I was saying before we started recording. we used to only go because when I was in college, we got student discounts. That's the only reason we went to Papa John's. After they took that away, we didn't see a reason to go back. So I think I think he was I don't know where those comments came from, what his thought process was, but they were stupid comments. I think there's other reasons why his pizza ain't selling more than players in the NFL.
So would you say that they're trying to systematically put that Papa John pizza is the way to go? So when after you're in college, you go to them afterwards? No, not at all.
Maybe, but I don't think it worked because we stopped going after they took away the discount. We ain't selling money.
Well, now they have 50% discount off everything. So.
Nope, shout out to that Little Caesars. It was garbage pizza, but it was $5. I'll get a college kid through the week.
Actually, you bring up a good point because whenever this whole Papa John stuff came about, I've seen more people talk about how great Little Caesars is, and that back when we were growing up, that was like the worst pizza. That was almost like Cece's pizza at that point. So
Little Caesars was at my local Kmart. Like I was not messing with them at all, man.
Right. So how is it that did they rebrand themselves to where now? I guess millennials like Little Caesars. I mean, are they like the go-to pizza now? Is that what
I don't know.
I feel like people talk about it because it's $5.
Yeah, that's why. It's because it's
why.
cheap.
In terms of quality, it's not that great. Like
no, but
it's based here. But I can tell you, it's not that great in terms of quality. But because
it's
it's
cheap. $5 pizza,
fast food. It's right there, and that'll get you full. So.
Yeah, I would definitely get a whole thing for $5.
All right. We've talked enough about pizza. Let's bring it back into more of the NFL.
Papa John's.
Right. So
shout out to Domino's.
All right. I know it sounds like we're in a vortex or something like that. We're back in time because we're talking about these next two topics. But let's just go ahead and get it out the way. First of all, let's go ahead and talk about Ezekiel Elliott. Like he just needs to just go ahead and just serve the 6-game suspension because once again. This is his last attempt to delay the 6-game suspension. And if you guys don't know, because it's been so long, they're trying to serve him. NFL is trying to serve him a 6-game suspension for alleged domestic violence. And once if he does serve that suspension, he'll be out 6 games. Honestly, if he would have just went and did the suspension already, he would have been back by now. Your thoughts, guys? No, matter of fact, I don't want to hear your guys' thoughts right now. Just Blitz, since you're the guest, and I haven't heard you actually talk about it for once because we've talked about it 3 times already. What are your thoughts about the Ezekiel Elliott situation?
No, I'm with you. He needs to be suspended or not because he'll get suspended 1 week and then a day later it'll be reversed because of a local circuit court or something. But this kind of goes back to what I was saying about Roger Goodell being in some serious trouble with the league and its image because. Like the NFL really needs to get out of the investigation business because they haven't been able to do it right ever since the Ray Rice fiasco.
It's not their place.
Yeah, it really isn't because and just I don't want to go too far on a tangent, but with this Ezekiel Elliott case, the charges weren't filed or they were dropped. The case was dropped, and to my knowledge, he's had evidence that would prove his innocence to whatever he was accused of. But the NFL I guess Roger Goodell felt like some type of way because, like I said, he botched the Ray Rice fiasco when that video came out.
He botched what's his name also? Matt, right?
Yeah, Matt, the kicker for the Browns,
the Giants.
The Giants, and then Greg Hardy too.
Yep.
But ever since all those happened, I think he's trying to overcompensate and really try to be judge, jury, and executioner, and it's really making the NFL worse because this looked like they hand down a decision and it's being overridden, and it happens it's happened on 3 separate occasions now.
Exactly.
So it's a really tiring saga. I think last I read, Zeke's last appeal was denied, so he's gonna take the 6 games now. I don't think he really has a choice.
Yeah, he has no choice now, and it's just like the fact that he's gone through so many appeals and everything like that is y'all either need to get it together. Honestly, it's messing up I feel like it's messing up the stuff it's making the NFL look bad. That's one. It's also making obviously Roger Goodell look bad. It is making things difficult for the Dallas Cowboys as well because I can only imagine how it is for being a coach and everything like that and knowing when you're trying to prepare for a team and prep and everything like that and not knowing that your star running back is either going to be here or he's not, and to have to go back and forth with plans, it's annoying and tedious. I know that they do it and they prepare for it, but even then that's still a lot of work that you gotta potentially spend hours and hours of film and planning to for your roster and whatnot if that roster is not even going to be the right way the day before the game and you have to change it back up. So NFL needs to just let the man just be suspended, take the 6-game suspension and just go from there and deal with it after the season. And another thing we are talking about, you guys, the Colin Kaepernick situation. Now, I think we brought this up in the last triple threat. I'm not exactly sure, but the NFL invited Colin Kaepernick to the last meeting that they had, and the players, the players were happy about that. I'm sure Colin Kaepernick was happy about that. But let's be real: the only reason why the NFL truly invited Colin Kaepernick is because of this lawsuit for collusion that they currently have. That's what that is. Like that's for sure.
Now, have they had that?
I don't know. I don't know if they. I don't think they'll care about that. Honestly, the NFL.
Now, have they had that meeting yet? Because I thought I saw it was supposed to happen on Monday, but it got postponed for some reason.
It got postponed, but but he's invited to that meeting. They will have him at that meeting. And then another statement that that everyone was kind of talking about for a little bit with the with his lawyer. He thinks that apparently, and this happened, I believe, 2 days ago. So October 31st, and this is November 2nd at the time of recording. He said that I think within the next 10 days somebody will sign him. I think that he feels that they're feeling the pressure of the fact that there's been collusion, what's going on with him, and they feel like that some team will go ahead and sign him. So I mean, I don't know.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Yep,
that's a stretch. I mean, you got to remember that. Like I said, when we first heard that there was, that was the reason why it ended his chance of coming back. Then if it was a lawsuit, unless you hear that he drops it all of a sudden, I won't believe that he's coming back, because what owner is going to go against the rest of the league and say, hey, by the way, let me sign him even though he's suing us? You know what I mean? So it's like the complete opposite of what you would expect.
It's a complete contradiction in this way. And when I say contradiction, is the fact that, like, hey, yeah, this man is not necessarily suing my team, but he is suing the league that my team is part of. Do I really want to go through all that? Do I really want to have that on my conscience, and having to deal with Roger Goodell and the rest of the the owners and all that from the NFL?
Do you want to deal with the media firestorm?
Exactly.
I think that's what most scared
that's probably the main thing, is the media. Then the media plays a huge role, and people don't think about that. That's very true.
Yeah, I mean like us, because we're talking about them every week.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it'd be great. I'm hoping that'll happen, but I seriously doubt it. I'll believe it when I see it, because there's plenty of teams around the league that need a quarterback at this point.
That's facts.
And the Houston Texans just opened up today.
Exactly.
Yeah, but not anymore. Matt Glowing got signed.
Yeah, they signed him.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Well, and look, let's face it, Houston Texans, he was not going to go there, even if you think Bob McNair, after what he said, do you think Colin Kaepernick's going to go there? I mean,
fuck no, that would be the most backwards place for him to go after.
See,
we didn't talk about that last podcast.
No, we didn't talk. I don't think we talked about that.
Yeah, no, we talked about that. That motherfucker here is sitting there, and excuse my language on the chat. I'm sorry, YouTube. Don't demonetize this video.
Flag.
No, right, exactly. No, this dude here sit there and use the worst thing as a white man that you can say about a team that you own. You don't say these things. He compared them to inmates of all things.
Did you see that? What's his name? Got the outfit he was wearing.
Yeah, Jadeveon Clowney went to the Halloween party in an orange jumpsuit after that. But no, when I first heard those comments, I wanted to I wanted to believe maybe it was like a foot and mouth moment where he meant, because I think the comment saying is we can't let the inmates run the asylum.
That's exactly what he said.
So didn't he say like inmates run the prison? I don't want to go about semantics here, but
that's what the majority of the articles that I was reading.
That is like for the majority of articles.
He said the one that's the phrase, whatever the normal phrase is. Is it prison? Can't have the inmates run the prison, or was it just
So I wanted to believe that it was just a foot and mouth moment, but I mean, I'm not surprised anymore.
Of course, he regrets saying that, and the reason why he regrets saying it is because of the backlash he got. But of all the things that you can say, like you say,
well, he was using it. It was a poor analogy. I mean,
that was a horrible analogy.
The crazy thing is, like, I don't want to get into what the NFL really is, but is he wrong?
Yeah,
I think that's the reason why.
That's a valid point, JC.
That might be the reason why.
Because there's some other stuff, and I don't want to get further into it. But
Are you saying it's like are you saying the NFL's like the
Hey,
youngest?
wait. Are you saying if it was the Bengals owner that they would have been true?
I don't know, man. I'm not saying that.
All I'll say is to those watching this video right now, look up the book $40 Million Slaves. Read that.
Yeah, just educate yourself on some of the leagues.
Watch the longest yard
All the leagues.
and the
The longest yard.
watch the youngest the what was it, the longest yard with Nelly. Then that's pretty much it. I'm just saying. Hey,
But yeah, it was really bad, especially with everything going on and how sensitive we are as a society nowadays. You can't say things like that, and it's just crazy how unfortunately it's older white males or females that end up.
The Texans threatened to leave practice the following day.
Yeah.
DeAndre Hopkins actually did not go to practice.
One of them didn't go to practice. I don't blame him.
Hopkins did.
Yeah, so basically, Colin Kaepernick absolutely not going there. I saw some people talking about, but it was a potential that he'll go to the Patriots after the Patriots dropped their backup quarterback, but they picked up Brian Hoyer. So
they don't want that. They don't want that noise.
They don't want that noise, and that'd be crazy.
Well, and then on top of that, Hoyer was their backup all these years, so it made sense for them. If they wanted to back, that's what they signed to. This is the first time I've seen somebody get cut and sign a 3-year deal. So they obviously wanted him.
They realized this mistake. I mean, the guy has some pretty good. He has some pretty good stats.
They know him already.
They know him already. He knows the
system,
so he can play well. So I mean, he's 32. He played with Pittsburgh Steelers, Arizona Cardinals, Cleveland Browns.
But in the end, this goes back to the lawsuit, though. Now, before it was all the collusion stuff, but the Texans might have been. Let's say Bob McNair never said anything. Now they lost to Sean Watson. We already know that Savage can't play, and now they need to back up. This would have been the spot he could have had, an opportunity. But the lawsuit is not gonna. It's gonna prevent that no matter what, because you can't sit there and say, "Oh yeah, come on the field. Oh, by the way, how's the lawsuit going?" I mean, it's not gonna work in the league now. So unless you see
even before that, though, I still think even before that he wouldn't have had a chance. I just
think let's say he didn't have it. I think now this would have been the shot. But then again, if Bob McNair didn't say anything, I mean that it's still a whole bunch of things that needed to take place. Because after this comments by him, I don't think it probably would have been more of a PR stunt if he did ask Colin to come to the Texans, because then he would look like a good guy, right?
Right. So another thing I kind of wanted to talk about, Carson Wentz is and the Eagles are they potentially going to the Super Bowl? I mean,
we talked about that last week. Didn't we?
But he had.
Well, you got to talk about the trade. So
let's talk about the trades.
Yeah, right.
and then we'll lead to the Eagles,
because that was ridiculous. Like what is going on with all these trades, man? Like the NBA taking, the NFL taking notes from the NBA or something. Like what's up?
Funny because these major trades all involved AFC East teams, and I was like, what are y'all doing? Like literally everybody. So
is this the post Brady era? Is this
right? Like everybody trying to load up, and the Patriots just giving away players. They're like, I don't need you anymore. We got all our faith to Tom Brady, good old Tom Brady. But so the Dolphins gave away Jay Ajayi to the Eagles. And then the Panthers gave Kelvin Benjamin to the Bills. And then we already talked about the Patriots giving away Jimmy Garoppolo, which was Tom Brady's handcuff.
And then the Browns failed to make their trade.
Yeah, they failed. And they failed to make their trade.
I thought I was reading a story on The Onion when I was reading that.
I don't know what the fuck is wrong with the Browns, but jeez.
No, AJ McCarron didn't need to be yet another quarterback that wouldn't work in their system. It's just the Browns at this point. Like, it doesn't matter what you have. I would even say at this point, even if you had Tom Brady on your freaking team, I don't think that the Browns would get anywhere. Tom
Brady.
It's a curse.
That's a curse. The Browns are cursed when it comes to quarterbacks. They've had they've had since 1999. They've had 20 plus QBs.
Yeah, 28 different QBs since 1999.
Like that is ridiculous. Like absolutely ridiculous. It's atrocious. Like it's been, oh my god, it's been so bad each year. It's almost somebody new almost each year. Like it's
and I forget that it's like 3 or 4 each year that it
like I'm looking at it right now. Like it's usually 2 to 3 people each year that are and we're saying starting, not backup and starter, starting. You've had for each year since 1999, minus 2001, which is the only year that I see. Every year you have had a different starting quarterback, at least 2 starting quarterbacks each year.
That's a QB roulette, man.
Yeah, and it's at the point now where even one of the top quarterbacks in this upcoming NFL draft says if the Browns have the #1 overall pick, he doesn't want to take the risk. He says, "I'll just go back to school." So
Yeah, it's crazy.
Shit, I don't blame him. I wouldn't want to go to that. At the end of the day.
Yeah, but in the end, you're turning down $65 million. Isn't that what the new rookie pays?
Yeah, but I get that. He'll get the $65 million.
You know what?
But if
I'll
he
take
cares,
the $65 million.
Just to be on a
You know what,
bad.
just give me $4 million. And you know what, Cleveland, I will be your quarterback right now for $4 million. Bargain.
But he cares about his career though. That's another thing though. I think that's.
I'm not mad at him.
yeah, but
I'm
at the
not
same
mad.
time, if you can tell me that I'm going to be a first-round pick in the NFL draft, I'm taking the money.
I'm taking the money and the #1 overall. And you're going to be, if you're the #1 overall pick and you're supposed to be quote unquote, the savior of the Browns, you might as well take it, take that chance. Because if it happens, then everybody's going to love you. And if it doesn't happen, you got $65 million. So who cares?
Everybody
take
takes
your
that
severance pay and
chance,
get out.
man. Everybody takes that chance, and you see what happens.
Yeah, exactly. If he goes back to school just to get, his degree and, whatever the hell people are learning these days.
I bet you he'll get drafted again next
Avocado
year.
fucking growing that he's gonna get hurt in college and then all of a sudden
Yeah, but is it going to be inside though? If he
That's
decides to go back a year. And
yeah, that's also true. But let's get away from Oh, I wanted to talk about the Eagles real quick, but
Yeah,
I mean it's
damn
the same.
Cleveland
Let's lead back to it.
damn Cleveland Browns.
Yeah,
So because of Jay Ajayi, so now we're asking if the Eagles are pretty much destined for the Super Bowl.
I think it's a little too soon to say that, but honestly, the way they've been playing, if they keep this theme up, man, they might be in the Super Bowl, man. We might have another Eagles Super Bowl, and I think the Eagles last time they were in the Super Bowl is back when they had T.O., they had McNabb, I forgot who else was on that squad, and they had the team.
No, not Sean Adams down there. What's the running back? Westbrook, I think they had a running.
You talking about Brian? Yeah. Yeah,
Brian Westbrook. Was he on Philly? Or I keep kidding him and Sean Alexander from Seattle.
I would have to check, but I don't know, man.
You are correct, Brian Westbrook.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, they had the squad that year, so I don't know, man. The Eagles have been playing phenomenal, and I've been. My favorite Eagle. I'll tell you guys right now. If you guys ever want some entertainment, you guys that are into sports, watch EDP 445 is the best Eagle fan to watch.
Yeah,
ever.
he's hilarious.
He is hilarious. But honestly, though, when I've seen the Eagles play the way they are, man, hey, Carson Wentz is the truth, man. He came in there last year. They saw some glimpses in him, and he was doing very well. It's just overall the team needed some more offensive weapons because he didn't really have people to throw to. Now he has people to throw to this year. The defense is coming together. Hey, man, the two teams my two favorite teams in the league that I feel like are doing the best in my opinion are the unfortunately and calm yourself down, JG. The Los Angeles Rams and the Philadelphia Eagles.
Hey.
Those are the best. Those are the two teams that I'm very excited to see them do so well. I mean.
They still look good.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny with the Eagles. I'm not sure how to feel about them. Play like, yeah, they can score. Their defense is solid. I just feel like they're missing something. Like I can't really put my finger on it. But at the same time,
they got it though. Like they're good, but they could be better. Of course.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but at the same time, even though I feel like they're missing something that doesn't really make them pop out to me as a Super Bowl team. At the same time, who really in the NFC is all that good? Because you look at Atlanta, they're not all that hot anymore. You got Seattle. I mean, they're
always in it. Line. They're always in it, though.
Like I said last time,
Dallas. Maybe
you wouldn't be shocked if the Eagles lose to the Saints one week. You know what I mean? You wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah. I wouldn't be shocked.
That's what I'm saying. I could see them getting
the Falcons the last year.
See them finishing 14-2, and then they have a first round bye. In that divisional round, they get popped by Dallas or Seattle or something funky like that.
I mean, right now
they're doing well right now.
Shit, the Eagles right now have the best record in the league right now. They're 7-1. They're 7-1 right now.
7-1, I think.
The team that's closer to them in the NFC, as you guys said, and I mean honestly, the team that's closer to them right now, Saints, which is 5-2, Vikings 6-2, and tied with the Rams, and for the NFC West is Seattle and the Rams. So I'm shit in the NFC East. They definitely got that. I mean, the next team that's closest to them is the Cowboys, and the Cowboys are 4-3. So, yeah.
Yeah, but it's not over. It's not over for the Cowboys. So I mean, I still wish they should have made a trade for a running back. But I mean, the Cowboys, I could see them even without Zeke beating the Eagles, just because it's a division rival. So I mean, look, we saw the Jets right now against the Bills. The Jets just put a hurting on the Bills, and everybody thought the Bills were right up there with the Patriots in the AFC East.
Yeah,
and now you look at that game, and you're like, what the hell just happened? But it's because it's division.
Yeah.
So
division game could go either way every time.
So I can't count the Cowboys out. And like we mentioned earlier, the NFC East is just so open, or the NFC period is so open. One minute these teams are 5-2, 6-2, 7-1. At the end of the year, they can all be 10-6, and then you're looking at like, wow, which one do I pick? It could be the Vikings. It could be the. I mean, hell, even the Lions at 3-4 could be dangerous.
Yeah, that's true. That's nah.
They're dealing with injuries right now, though. So I'll
believe it when I see it. We're getting healthier, but I believe it when I see it.
And we can't. Like I said,
we're almost as cursed as the Browns.
Yeah.
Vikings won't go anywhere though. They have Case Keenum.
Nah, you're not as cursed as the Browns. At least your team is one. The Browns is 0-8 right now. That shit is poverty. They're on the 8 for this year. They're on an 8-game losing streak, and then for the past 2 seasons,
with the Niners.
Yeah, I'm hoping. People are scared around here. They say, "Here we go again," but we'll see.
I still want to go smack the Rams organization for not picking wins. I'll think about that every time.
I bet you do.
But Sean McVay's taking good care of Jared Goff.
Oh no. I'm very.
Goff is doing well, man. I like Goff a lot.
I turned it around. I already know Jeff Fisher was the problem. Like that's not even.
How did that man have a job for that long?
It's because he had people higher up.
Yeah, that's what it was. That's exactly what it was. They kept giving him chances.
Nah, bro. That's they gotta do a 30 for 30 on that one.
Oh yeah, that's definitely gonna be a 30 for 30. That's just
the second most.
Well, nobody
told you.
There's already a 30 for the 1 yard thing, isn't there?
I think so. That
was him.
So, all right. So let's switch over from the NFL. That was a lot of NFL news, so appreciate you guys listening to that. But let's talk about the NBA. I'm just gonna keep it real with y'all. It's early in the season, but what the fuck is going on with the Cleveland Cavaliers, fam? Like,
hey, what's going on with the Knicks? That's what you should lead, and the Knicks all of a sudden look good.
I mean, I'm
oh yeah, once Sam Hardaway Jr. came to play.
Yeah, finally.
I mean, the Rockets still beat them.
Do you remember the last sports show you were just down on the Knicks, and they haven't lost since? You made fun of them, Ace.
That's true. I did.
And you were talking about how great the Lakers were already, and now what?
I actually wasn't talking how great the Lakers were at all. So don't misquote me on that. I also said that the Lakers need to get it together and actually play some defense. Because I told him last time we actually talked about the Lakers that I think that play against the Suns were just atrocious. It showed no defense and everything, was just strictly offense. And you can't win championships without defense, especially in basketball at all.
To get back to the Cavs, I mean, it's early in the season. I never put any stock in any of this stuff because in the end, it's still going to be them.
The reason why I'm saying this though with the Cavs is the fact that they're not looking good when it comes to team chemistry wise. They're not looking good at all, and that's why I'm bringing it up. I don't care.
Well, it's because I don't care about the record. The most important position is the point guard. That's what you need, a good point guard. Obviously, Kyrie Irving is going to be missed no matter what because he was a good point guard.
They're 3-5 right now. They lost their
Derrick Rose is aged and hurt. What's his face? Running point now. It's gotten so bad now. Now LeBron is running point.
Well, if you look, I think I've started to see a pattern with LeBron run teams. They always start out slow. Like when his first year in Miami, like they look like hot garbage. I think when they lost to Charlotte, LeBron's first year down there, they said, "Is this really going to work? Is this super team going to work?" And they always turned it around. So, like I think a couple days ago, they asked LeBron after a loss about the struggles, and he asked, "What month is it?" They said October, and he said, "Oh, I'm not worried." So I'm not worried either. It's LeBron. He's really not concerned at this point. He'll turn it around and talk to me in February, March. It'll have him probably looking better. Isaiah Thomas will be back at that point.
Yeah, that's also true. So
I'll probably work him in, and they'll be right there in the Eastern Conference, obviously.
Right, because
but as of right now, they're not worried.
Yeah, they're not where they should be. Because I mean, when it comes to the Eastern Conference, they're number 13 at the moment. They're tied with them.
But right now, the Orlando Magic.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. The Celtics and the Magics are the number 1 and number 2 team.
Oh, really? Oh, man, the Pistons lost that number 1 spot. Man.
Yeah.
Did you say Magics?
The Magics. Magic. Orlando Magic. They are number 2 in the Eastern Conference right now at 6-2.
They're tied with the Celtics.
Hey man, the Celtics have been on a streak. They're on a 6-game win streak.
I mean, everybody thought they were going to be good. I mean, yeah, they lost Hayward, but I mean, the team.
Yeah, they're still
it's
doing.
Kyrie.
Yeah,
I mean, in the end, if you want to know why Cleveland's struggling, it's because they have no Kyrie right now. They have no point guard. They really don't.
They're right. You're absolutely right, and that's why LeBron James had to play point, and he obviously did an exceptional job at point guard. But let's see, like, damn, I'm looking right now. I didn't realize how bad the Hawks were. Jeez. They're 1-7.
Well, they lost everybody. Yeah, the Hawks are supposed to be horrible.
Yeah, they're definitely tanking. They're on a 7-game losing streak. They're 1-7 they're
right there.
They're below they're below the sorry ass Bulls.
Starter right now. Bazemore
and Hardaway back.
Mm-hmm. And but the East right now, the top 5 teams in the East is right now is the Celtics, Magic, the Pistons, Pacers, and the Hornets. So. I mean, but one team that I do want to continue to talk about, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of them, is the Bucks. Hey, man, I'm on the bandwagon when it comes to Giannis, man. I'm not even gonna front. Once I saw him play last year against the Nets, I was like, that dude's the truth. Like in person, like he can ball. I can definitely see him quite possibly being MVP this year. Like Giannis, is just a beast on the court, man. He's everything that you would want somebody to be. Now the Bucks are only 4-4, but they have a good squad, in my opinion. They have a pretty good squad on paper. I mean, would you guys say so?
I can see them being like the 4 or 5, or maybe a little bit higher, like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
I haven't had Parker to come back. Jabari Parker.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't gotten too many opportunities to watch him play this year, but Greek Freak is the truth.
Yeah, he's definitely the truth, man. He's definitely on his own for sure. He's definitely an important player for that squad. So it'd be good to see him and everything like that, and see how he continues to develop.
The East is so weak that we don't even know who really is going to be good or not.
Well, here's the thing.
I mean, like Philadelphia is also 4-4.
Yeah,
if you look at their squad individual pieces, you actually look at it and it'd be like the same as Milwaukee. Like, wow, they got players in.
Yeah.
Simmons, Embiid. Even T.J. McConnell's actually doing good. So
right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just let's see how these standings look in February, when the playoffs start to come around. Because I think there's going to be, I feel like as far as in the East goes, like it'll go as we expect. Cleveland 1, and then like Boston 2, Washington will be in there, Indiana,
Toronto,
Milwaukee. But there might be. I'm looking for who's going to be that surprise in there. Who
So I mean,
might be showing a little bit better than we thought.
Philadelphia and New York so far, the surprises.
Right.
Let's see if the Magic can hold their own and not just
exactly. I'd be interested to see if Magic can hold their own. You've gone to a couple of their games, right, JG?
Yeah, we went to the home opener against Miami.
Aaron Gordon is really good. I mean, he's.
Oh yeah.
Now that Victor Oladipo and all them are gone, I think he's going to be the one that shines. That you're going to see
more of him. Yeah, absolutely.
Aaron Gordon and Vucevic.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And since we talk about standings, I mean it's early on right now, but surprisingly, the Los Angeles Clippers are the number 1 team in the Western Conference at this moment. Like I said, this is early in the season, but it's kind of a surprise. You got the Clippers, you got the Rockets, and you got the Warriors right now. Everyone is kind of worried to see if the Warriors are letting out steam, and I don't think. I think they're fine. They're fine.
Yeah, they're right up there. They're right up there with Cleveland. They're not concerned right now.
Yeah, they're not concerned.
They'll flip that switch once the calendar turns.
Right. And
they were saying that like these teams are burnt out because they went to 2 straight finals.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, I know that's not LeBron's case. LeBron definitely feeling it. Warriors maybe. But again, it's still super early in the season. Nobody expects the Warriors to like be like number 1 or number 2. Like they're pretty much gonna solidify their spot there in the West. So
yeah, so it's good to see like everything like that. So I mean, as the season continues to continue, we'll let you guys know. How you guys' teams doing fantasy wise? JG, how your team doing so far? Good this season?
I'm on 2, so
damn.
I've had some early injuries and Also had Karl Anthony Towns score like 2 points yesterday. And, yeah, so and then I'm facing a person who has pretty much all the Lakers starting roster on their team.
You talking about
So they're
T-Palm?
playing right now. Yeah, I have nobody tonight. I have absolutely nobody playing tonight. So yeah, he's beating me right now.
I accidentally
man.
benched Harden the other day, so he's got a
What?
34 points.
Thank you, Siggy. Yeah, I'm going against Siggy right now. You winning right now though, but it is barely.
Yeah, it's light work.
Fuck out of here.
I could bench Harden and still win this one. So
No, you can't. You barely.
He ain't worried about nothing.
Yeah, you gonna see. We gonna see when you say that on Sunday when I'm beating him. But it's all good. He only saying that.
Yeah,
he's only saying
Aaron
that.
Win.
He's only saying that because tomorrow he got a full roster. But it's all good. We'll see on Sunday. That's gonna be a good one. But Blitz, you're not in a league with us, are you?
Not with y'all, but I'm in a league. I've never done fantasy basketball before. I just decided to give it a shot. I'm 2-0 right now.
How are you liking it? Are you like noticing that you have to be a very paying attention to it on like the NFL
definitely.
where you have to?
Yeah, definitely. It's funny because the league I'm in, like the scoring format's very similar to fantasy football, but yeah, you got to be on top of your lineups because somebody's gonna be playing every night, or somebody's not gonna be. So, like, I made the mistake too. James Harden had an off night, so I took him out, and then they had a game the next day. I forgot to put him back in. I missed out on my points. So. But yeah, it's cool. I could probably I'll probably try to get in the league with y'all next year.
Yeah, for sure. So I wanted to talk about this briefly before we go ahead and end the podcast, unless any of the guys had anything else. Lonzo Ball. I mean, obviously he's continued to be talked about every game. This entire season, the off season, because of his father, because of everything along those lines. I want to ask Siggy, because Siggy's typically a very critical guy. Do you think Ball is a bust so far? Yes or no? And
no, he's not. He's not a bust. I mean, yeah, he's struggled, and I think that in the end, he's not going to be the legend that everybody thinks he's going to be. But I mean, he is a starting, player right now. He needs to work on his defense, obviously. His shot is just horrendous. I think in the end, though, you're going to find out that he's just going to be an average player at best if he keeps doing that shot. Like, even Sawyer's, agreeing.
Right, exactly. Honestly,
it's an ugly shot.
Kuzma is Kyle is the one that's been way better, in my opinion, than Ball. Like, he's been out there for sure. So, I mean, we'll see. JG?
Nah, he's not a bust. Right now, what's going on is his rookie woes, and literally everybody, because of obviously his father, they're putting a target on him. So you're going to have these elite point guards that are going to show him a good welcome to the NBA. Like, so,
right, John Wall was letting them know that too.
Right.
But...
Whether you win or lose, like, he's going to get tested. So he's just going through those woes right now. Like, obviously with the Suns, they didn't have as good of a point guard or seasoned point guard as other teams. But like tonight, like, he has no points and he's going against Damian Lillard.
He had a block on him earlier today, though.
Yeah, like, and Lillard got 25 points and like he's held them to no points. So guess who's winning there? Even though y'all are up right now, so that's good for y'all. But no, he's not a bust. He's not a bust. We got a lot more games to play, man. A lot more games to play.
105, 102 is a close game. 233 at the moment of recording. But other than that, I mean, Blitz, you got anything else you want to talk about, man? Being the guest, I mean, you want to bring up any sports news? I know you're a pretty good sports guy.
I mean, I was just gonna, just give my quick thoughts on Lonzo.
Go ahead.
Is he a bust? Yeah, no, but is he a bust? No, it's too early. Since I'm on the East Coast, I haven't had too many opportunities to see the Lakers play, but the one game I did watch intently was his debut against the Clippers. And I think, like Siggy said, I think he'll be an okay player. He'll be a productive player in the league. I just don't see like that superstar talent that his father is always talking about. So, and I always kept saying, even leading up to him getting drafted and all that, like, I'm just concerned like his father is talking a little bit too much. Like, it's great that this guy, he loves his son, he's doing a lot of things for him, setting him up with his own business and whatnot, having that all that. But as far as him like talking about he's better than insert any superstar in there, I mean, guys are gonna put targets on his back. Like, I always like joke, like, he's gonna be going up for a layup and somebody's just because of what his daddy's saying. But he'll be. It's still super early. I want to see what else he does, and I think he'll be a productive player, like a superstar or Hall of Famer like that. I don't know. So far, it's just early, so we'll see.
Gotcha. Well, do you guys have anything else you want to say? Any
I do.
news?
I do.
Go ahead, JG. Go ahead.
So this weekend for all UFC fans, we have UFC 217.
Go ahead and tell them about
Michael Bisping is going to face George St. Pierre. Now, if you're a fan, or even if you were a fan before, George St. Pierre has not fought in at least like a good 3-4 years, and he's coming back. He's moving up to middleweight. And he's immediately getting thrown in the ring against Michael Bisping for the middleweight title. I don't know why they gave him this. Maybe just because he left with the title before he left.
That's probably why. That's most likely why.
But no, I think it's because Dana wants him to lose so he can retire.
Maybe that too.
I think that's what it is.
Because Dana Picklehead White, you never know what he has up his sleeve. But it's gonna be interesting though, because Michael Bisping, ever since he won the title, he's been kind of on a tear. Like Michael Bisping has never been a bad fighter. He just always had bad luck. He's been facing like some terrible people who like literally whoop his ass. But he's a good, very good at stand up. And George St. Pierre has never been a stand-up guy. Like he had to learn how to just do a regular jab at one point. He's always been that ground person. So I hope that it doesn't end up like pretty much any other fight that we've seen George St. Pierre do. Well, he'll take you down and then he'll just wail on you and just hold you there for 5 rounds. I hope we don't see that. I hope that Michael Bisping keeps him standing up and we actually see a good fight. But this is a three title card here. We also have Cody Garbrandt versus TJ Dillashaw for the bantamweight title. So that's going to be another good fight. And then we got Johanna Champion versus Rose Namajunas for the women's strawweight. So it's going to be a very, very dope card. You a UFC fan, check this out, man, Saturday, because you know I will.
True.
We should have our podcast for that.
Just individually for UFC? Bring it back.
Might have to do that. Siggy, you got anything you want to talk about before we wrap this podcast up?
No, I'm glad that Yu Darvish lost, just because I hope the Yankees sign him for cheap now, because everybody's gonna be scared of him. So let's get Yu Darvish Yankees. We need them.
Yankees going to World Series next year, Siggy. You think
I hope so.
You think
I hope so. I mean, they have the talent. There's no doubt about that. They could have won. They could have won this year.
Did we talk about old boy leaving? I don't think we did for the Yankees.
Who, Joe Girardi?
Yeah. What are your thoughts behind that?
Getting fired. I've been wanting him fired the whole season.
Really? So you wanted him gone too?
Yeah, I think it's one of those where you want him gone, and then when it happens, it's kind of like, yeah, but who are we gonna get? And that's kind of where I'm at right now. But he wasn't helping the team, and
he wasn't hurting them to the extent until like the playoffs was.
I could count at least 6 games where he lost with the moves he made, at least 6.
And the playoffs are the worst place to do it, and that's why.
Well, in the end, just looking at those 6 games, that I think he lost personally, that could have been the difference between home field and not, and in the end that's what cost him. Houston had the home field advantage, so. I think that they're better off without him. I just think they need to find somebody that's good with young players.
I feel you. And Blitz, man, you got anything you want to talk about, man? Any other sporting news that you want to talk about? We didn't cover it all. Or are you good?
No, I'm good. Just a quick PSA. Just pray for these NFL players, bro. Because like I said, these injuries have been nuts this year.
Right. It's been crazy out here, man. Especially
because a lot of people be getting upset for the wrong reasons. Like when Deshaun Watson got hurt today, people was freaking more about their fantasy teams than another human.
Well, that's because
tearing up his leg.
Because people like that, and I'm just gonna say they're idiots. They are. My fantasy points. Oh no, somebody actually got hurt. Like their livelihood could be done with. But okay.
Because it was making me wonder. Like, yeah, there are injuries. But to this many household names,
it's getting ridiculous. So
it's crazy this year. Let's pray for these guys to be safe and
take care of themselves and everything like that.
All that good stuff.
Exactly. And since you are our guest, man, you want to do your closing remarks? Go ahead, man. Go ahead and say what you want to say in and out.
Man, shout out to GI for having me. Like I said, we'll look out for that Thor Ragnarok review video because that movie was lit. Shout out to Gen 1, and we out.
True. And just to let you guys know, if you guys want to be a part of the GI series or Triple Threat Sports podcast, just like our boy Blitz here, be sure to check out our Patreon. That's patreon.com/GI updates. We have a lot of awesome tiers there. If you guys want to check that out and be a part of series just like this one, then definitely check that out. Once again, that is patreon.com/GI updates. Siggy, your ending remarks? True.
I thought we did already.
No. I'm saying, like, say you want to say peace out and everything like that. You got anything
No,
to say?
peace out, everybody. And
Yes.
check out the comment section below for PayPal or Patreon, whatever.
Dude, this, oh my
You send the
God.
money through PayPal too.
Say the right to
This
PayPal.
guy Siggy, man, always. Oh my God, and you know JG. Oh my God, JG already said what he had to say about UFC. Definitely listen to that man. That man's. If you want to hit him up on Twitter and everything like that, check it out. All our Twitter information is down below, and I will make sure to put Blitz's Twitter down below too if he wants it. But we really do appreciate you guys coming through for another Triple Threat Sports podcast. Hopefully, we will be able to get it live next week.
Go Jets.
Siggy. But if not, I will make sure to have it up for you guys soon.
And shout out to the Jets also, since the Jets beat
guy.
the Bills badly.
Yeah,
It was awesome.
I guess. Go Jets, go. But appreciate you guys for coming through. Thank you guys very much. Keep up the comment section down below. Tell us your thoughts and everything like that. How much you hate Siggy and his thoughts. All that. Thank you guys so much. Today's Small Trades.
Wow.
And we're out of here. Peace.
Bye.